Alright, so the next thing we are going to talk about is diction, and diction is the basically the way that you're pronouncing the consonants when you're singing, as opposed to just focusing on the vowels, which is really easy to do when we're singing because that's where the song comes from, is holding out the vowels. But one way to make your choir sound a lot more cohesive is to plan out where your consonants are going to start and end, and you can finish a word completely and breathe and continue with the following word. Or if you're carrying out a note, you'll want to hold the vowel until you're about to be on the beat of the start of the next word. So that way everybody is starting and finishing the consonant at the same time. And you'll see, you have to sort of decide for yourself what's easiest for the choir, what sounds the best, but that will help you guys sound a lot more controlled. And you'll hear it in spots when you're doing songs. You'll sort of hear the finishing da-da-da-da-da-da or p-p-p or s, and those are the places you really want to focus on where the consonant is coming in. And on top of that, it really helps people understand what you're saying in the song. A lot of these hymns people will know, but maybe some of them they don't. So this is a way for people to focus on the message of what you're singing, so they can sing along and they can appreciate what the prayer is about. Some basic things about diction are the lips, the teeth, and the tip of the tongue. So these are the things you really want to focus on when you're working on diction exercises. This is how you're going to practice your enunciation. So that in itself is a very common vocal exercise. You can just go through, say, lips, teeth, tip of the tongue, lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. And, you know, throughout that exercise, think about where your tongue is, where your lips are. Try to enunciate as clearly as possible. Over-enunciate. Lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. Each sound really needs to have a good focus. Then another exercise that I really like is p, t, k, and ba, da, ga. So you can do each on its own, or you can sort of flip between the two. The reason why these are good exercises is because they focus on your tongue being in different parts of the mouth. So p, t, k obviously is not sounding, but the tongue in p is not really functioning. It's mostly just a lip exercise, so p. T, your tongue is behind your teeth, sort of near the roof of your mouth. P, t, and you should think about how your tongue is pushing on the back of your teeth. And then k is happening in the back of your throat near your soft palate. K, so p, t, k. And then the same pattern happens with ba, da, ga. Ba is happening all in your lips. Da happens behind the back of your teeth, and ga happens in the roof of your mouth, back by your soft palate. So p, t, k, ba, da, ga. And then another fun thing to do is just to bring tongue twisters to class. This is something we used to do. You can assign somebody each week to bring a tongue twister, and you can work on them as a group and say, okay, we're going to go 3 times through it without messing up. We're going to go 5 times through it without messing up. So something like red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, or Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You know, pick a few to start and see how far you guys can get without messing them up. Another good thing to tie into this is breathing. So as we talked about previously, make sure that you're always breathing through your diaphragm when you're doing these exercises, because if you breathe a lot up here, you can almost get a little faint because you're trying to talk a lot and you're focusing on your mouth and not your breathing, and we don't want anybody to get dizzy. So make sure we're breathing through our nose. If you start to feel yourself getting lightheaded, you know, take a break. We're not trying to kill anybody here. So make sure you can keep your hand. Sometimes I do this. I keep my hand on my stomach to focus on my breathing as I'm doing my diction exercises. So that's just a little bit about diction.